Welcome to all of folks here now. My name is Susan Musicant, and I'm
See the top of her head.
helping to mediate and present this webinar. As you can see, the title of Benefits of Mindful Meditation for Caregivers. And I'd like to introduce Reverend Dr. Barbara Galloway Lee. I'd like to tell you a little bit about her with her permission. She has been a chaplain in hospitals for the last 20 years. And her passion is to bring the faith community and medical community together. She herself was a caregiver for her mother, who had a stroke, and her grandmother, who lived with diabetes. And currently she is facilitating a caregiver support group as part of her work with Daybreak, who is presenting this webinar to you now. And we're so happy you're here, and we'll get started. And we will definitely want your participation and questions at the end, or even if something feels important to ask, you can put it in the chat. And welcome, and thank you, Reverend Dr. Barbara.
Thank you very much, Susan. It's a real pleasure to be here. And good afternoon to everyone that's online. And I'm happy to introduce just a small aspect of the tool of mindful meditation for caregivers. And we're focusing on caregivers that are caring for their care partners, I'm calling them, or care receivers that have dementia. Thank you. And mindful meditation is a non-judgmental experience. It's a tool that brings us to the present moment, as opposed to looking back on what we should have done or focusing in on what we have to do tomorrow or the next day. Our lens for today for care partners is we really want to focus on the energy of understanding ourselves through the development of mindfulness skills. And we're using communication skills with our care partners as an example. There are many, many different ways to practice mindful meditation. One way is being aware of the breath, and that's an exercise. The other is the body scan, and we will do a brief meditation on the body scan today. Awareness of our senses and loving kindness meditation is another one, and we will do that meditation shortly, that experience shortly. Walking meditation, I encourage caregivers and care receivers to walk and just to be aware of their surroundings. They may notice a tree or a plant, or I walk by the ocean and just soak that in. And also mindful eating. Sometimes we just don't take the time to really enjoy our meals. We may rush through a meal, and mindful eating is really to taste the orange, taste the strawberry, taste the lemon, and there are many different ways of practicing mindful meditation. And we're right now preparing to preview a video on loving kindness meditation.
Welcome. We're going to try a simple exercise. This is called loving kindness meditation. We'll spend the next 10 minutes together soothing your mind, filling your heart, and relaxing your body. This might be a little new for you, but don't worry, we'll walk you through it. This kind of meditation is proven to help people feel less stressed. And practicing it often can even help you feel more grateful and at peace with yourself. To do this exercise, you'll need to be in a quiet area where you can sit or lie down and focus without interruption. Feel free to pause this recording until you're ready to begin. Once you're ready, lie down, or come to a seated position in a chair or on the floor. Get comfortable. Close your eyes. Settle into your body. Start getting in touch with your breathing. Notice your inhales and exhales. Start to slow your breathing. Take deep, steady breaths all the way down to your belly. Breathe out slowly. Let your body relax. Thoughts might drift into your mind. That's normal. The key is to let those thoughts float away without giving them all your attention. When thoughts pop up, simply notice that you had a thought. Then let it drift away, like a leaf floating downstream. Bring your attention back to your breath. Now we're going to fill your mind with a single thought. Think of someone you really, really love. This is a person you trust, admire, or rely on. Someone who fills you with warm feelings. This might be a family member, a close friend, or someone else you're deeply grateful to have in your life. Let the image of this person come to life in your mind. And let all your good feelings for this person fill your heart. Live in those feelings for this moment. Let them course through your body. Now take all of your energy and attention and focus on the person in your mind. Think or say these words for them. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you find peace. And may you be free from harm. Put all of your energy into this wish for them. If you find your attention drifting, don't worry, that's okay. Just notice the distraction and gently bring your attention back to the present moment. Focus on your breathing. This is your time. Now think of someone you have neutral feelings for. Not someone you love or someone who bothers you, just someone you know exists. Maybe this is a casual acquaintance of yours, or even someone you've never met. Think about this person. Let their image fill your imagination. Give them all of your attention. Repeat the same wish you had for your loved one. You can think the words or say them out loud. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you find peace, and may you be free from harm. Focus on this wish and send it out to the universe for this new person. Keep breathing deeply. Stay rooted in the present moment. Inhale and exhale. It's time to think of someone new. This isn't someone you have warm, fuzzy feelings toward. This isn't someone who makes you feel neutral. This is someone with whom you have conflict. They might bring up negative or uncomfortable feelings for you. Maybe they annoy you. Maybe they've even hurt you. Maybe you're frustrated with them. Think of this person and let their image fill your mind. Whatever feelings come up for you, let those feelings exist. It's okay to feel those emotions. Keep your attention on this person. Now offer this person the same wish you offered the first two people you imagined. Give this person some positivity. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you find peace. And may you be free from harm. Focus on this wish and let it move through you. Bring yourself back to your breath. Inhale and exhale. Next, let's send this positive energy out into the world. Imagine this wish extending to every living thing on the planet. All the people on the globe, all the animals and insects, all the plant life, everything and everyone. Repeat the words in your mind or out loud. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you find peace. And may you be free from harm. Imagine your well wishes expanding across the entire planet. Let this good feeling flow through you and out of you. And lastly, you're going to take this same wish and hold it for yourself. Picture yourself in your mind's eye. Feel your body. Notice your breathing. Tune into yourself as you exist in this very moment. Now think or say the words. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I find peace. And may I be free from harm. Let the power of these words fill your mind, your heart, and your body. Breathe them in. With a couple last deep breaths, bring yourself back to the present moment. Open your eyes, shift your body. Think of all those good feelings you shared with someone you love, someone you feel neutrally toward, someone you struggle with, all living things, and with yourself. Come back to this practice often so you can access those feelings again and again. Thank you for joining us on this journey. And of course, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you find peace, and may you be free from harm.
Hey, Are we all back? And I certainly feel just a bit more peaceful, and I encourage everyone to practice loving kindness on a daily basis. Um, Now that we're back, I'd like to say something about Emily Dickinson. And I would imagine that Emily, once upon a time, was a caregiver. And if the person that she was caring for could speak, uh, this is what she might say. So I've lifted up three short paragraphs from a very long poem. I'm happy to share the whole poem with people that may want it. But what I would like you to take away is this person that she calls I'm somebody is asking for dignity from us. And dignity is a critical quality that we all seek. And so, according to Emily, she said through this person, if I could speak, this is what my voice would say. Do not let this thief scare you away. Do not let this thief intimidate you into thinking that I am no longer here. I want to emphasize that. Into thinking I am no longer here. When you see me, tell me quickly who you are. Don't ask me, don't you know me? Help me to retain my own dignity by not forcing me to say, no, no, I don't know who you are. Save my face by greeting me with your name, even if the thief has stolen all of that from me. And this is the last paragraph. Yes, yes, I'm still here. Help me retain my dignity in this shell of a woman I have become. In my world of silence, I am still here. Oh, oh, I'm still here. Hopefully that will give us a little more insight on dignity that we all want from the caregiver as well as the care receiver. And what I want to talk about next is caregiving, grief, and loss. Uh, as you all know, these are some very turbulent times that we're living in. And the whole process of early stages of dementia to the end of life is it's one loss after the other. And so I'm saying that grief is an unavoidable part of living with dementia. And it's also one of the greatest challenges. It's faced, as I said earlier, by both the care partners and the care receivers. And I just want to outline four types of grief. And the first one is the anticipatory grief, and that's the pain of losing a loved one. And that's felt in advance of the person's death. You know, they're looking, wondering, and grieving that. The second one that I want to point out is the ambiguous loss. And that's a conflicting feeling that comes from interacting with a person who's alive, but not the same psychologically or socially or spiritually. Disenfranchised grief is the third one that I like to outline. And this is sort of like an invisible grief. it's hidden from others, and it's not socially recognized because the person is still here. And the caregiver may be grieving, seeing the person every day, giving care, feeding, walking, but the person that they used to know is no longer here, and that's disenfranchised grief. And the fourth one is the loss of one's old life and the vision for the future. Uh, Grief over this kind of ongoing loss can be felt in feelings of resentment or guilt, sometimes even shame. Uh, what I want to introduce next is a very brief meditation on the body scan. And well, I was just at the doctor's the other day and complaining about my knee. And she said, "Oh, your body's talking to you." And your body does point out some problems that you need to attend to. And our body carries emotional history, including grief. And there's no time limit on how long a person will grieve. It could be months, it could be days, it could be years. And the body feels that. The body scan is a practice that can help you become more familiar, and it helps you to express your emotions. And this scan helps in an awareness of our sensations. So looking at the body scan, you can practice this while you're sitting up or lying down. Begin at the top of the body, visit each part of it inside and out. During the body scan, you'll be visiting your bones, your muscle, your skin. You'll notice your blood flow. I just walked up some steps to get here today, and I'm not used to walking up 4 flights of steps, and my body's telling me, okay, you're up the steps now, slow down and look around. The body holds unresolved patterns that become more noticeable when we pay attention to them. And be gentle with yourself while you're doing this. So let's experience the body scan.
I invite you to pause, take a moment, and close your eyes. And let's just observe our body. Let's do a body scan. And with the body scan, it helps us become present. It allows us the opportunity to become more curious, maybe find discoveries, maybe see any places that we want to invite further to relax or explore more. So as we do this body scan, we're just going to observe our body with compassion, with curiosity, no negative self-talk or any judgments. If those come into mind, just let them go and come right back into the present space. So I invite you to close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths in and out your nostrils. And notice if you're able to take a full breath to your diaphragm. If you can't, that is okay. But just continue to breathe. And as you inhale, notice your belly expand. And with every exhale, notice it come back down. And just do a couple of more. And as we come into this space, we're going to start with the crown of our head. And we're just going to notice what's there. Notice your mind, notice your thoughts. Just notice what's going on there. Notice your eyes. Are they able to relax? Your ears, your nose. If you're clenching your jaw, if it's nice and relaxed. Your throat, your shoulders, your upper back, your arms, your wrists, and your hands. And continue to observe. And if there's any areas that you've come across that needed a little bit more attention, feel free to send your breath there. And come into our heart center, our chest area. And let's take a moment there. Send a couple breaths there. That's where we can sometimes hold stress or anxiety. Just let's send some breaths there as you focus your attention at your heart. Notice your back, your abdomen, your lower back, your hips, your legs, your knees, your ankles, and your feet. Take an inhale through your nostrils. Pause the breath, and let's take a strong exhale out our mouth. Beautiful. And just pause. Take a moment and feel into the space of your body and around it. And you can do this exercise as many times as you want throughout the day and on a daily basis. And it's just a check-in, and it helps establish that connection with your body a little bit more. And just check in.
Thank you for listening to PRA Wellbeing's Body Scan exercise. This is one of a 3-part wellness exercise series developed and led by Vanessa Marufo of Soulrise Wellness.
Thank you for your attentiveness. Are there questions or comments? One thing I'd like to know is, did the loving kindness meditation and the body scan make a difference in this short period of time that we've been together? I see you smiling, Karen.
I am, Reverend Barbara. It's always so wonderful to take a little time out in our day and just take that moment to get into that inner peace and to see yourself giving love to the people you're close to, the people you're neutral with, and the people you may have a conflict with. And just putting aside everything and just opening your heart and letting that energy be transmitted. And then finally bringing it all back to you as well. You know, that it's like a coffee break for our spirits, I think. to take
That's
that
great.
time. Yeah,
Yeah,
to
uh,
take that time and to do it on a regular basis. It's so easy to get caught up.
that's right. I like that, a coffee break for our spirits. And by the way, I hope it's decaffeinated, coffee break.
Let me just put
Yeah.
it this way. It's anticipated and tasty.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Um, I'd like to share my experience a little bit. It's always so great in these webinars to hear what other people are experiencing. So I wanted to share a little bit. You know, I've started to try to meditate on a regular basis in my life, so that I can feel calmer and more optimistic. Um, you know, I long to feel at ease and to look forward to my life. And, you know, I think when you're facing difficult challenges or just getting older, which has a sort of inevitability about what can be difficult, it is difficult, I'm finding, to always be hopeful and optimistic. And
Mm.
um, that, you know, the meditation and mindfulness, I am using it to try and let go of those kinds of thoughts, kind of recognizing that what we think isn't really what is what will happen, you know, that we are really more than anything our bodies. And there's so much rest and peace that comes from just focusing on my breath. So thank you very much for that that focus right now. And if anyone else has, you know, an experience like mine or like Karen's or like what we were exposed to, the sharing is so wonderful. I hope folks feel comfortable to do that.
Any reactions in terms of talking about grief and loss? I want to bring to mind two cases that I heard about recently from one of the caregivers in my group in terms of grief and loss. The situation was that one of the caregivers with Alzheimer's was in a nursing facility, and it turns out that her husband had been taking care of the wife, right? And it turns out that he got sick and he ended up in the same facility. And they were almost like in the same room all the time. And she did not quite recognize him all the time. But when he died first. Sometimes the caregivers will die first. He died first. And she would always look over in the space where he was. And I think she felt a spirit, you know. And, you know, we're actually spiritual beings in these bodies, you know, and I was told that she missed him very much, even though, you know, she couldn't remember his name or anything like that. So I really think that it's quite remarkable. Um, and we don't give caregivers just enough credit. You know, there's so much stress associated with it. And another situation that I heard about last week from a caregiver was that she was very angry with the person that she was caring for. And because of some of the benefits of mindful meditation, she reacted differently and her anger dissipated. So if you practice every day, it does change your mood and your personality. Yes.
Great.
Very much so.
Oh, there's a question? Okay. I can't really, okay. Um, okay. I've got a question in the chat. Someone is saying, sorry for the chat message, but my office is very noisy. Just wondering, in addition to meditation, any recommendations on how to move the energy of grief through the body? Okay. Well, hmm. Wow, that's a very good question. That's a very challenging question. Um, just off the top of my head, personal experience, I'm a widow, and for a long time, because of my background in social work, I didn't think I needed help to move the grief that I had through the loss of my husband. So eventually, I asked for help. I went to a therapist. You know, I'm saying all that to say that you don't have to do it alone. There's grief support groups that you can sign up for. They're online, some in person. My experience with grief support and loss through the medical community has been very helpful. And Karen is a psychologist, and she probably can add to that. Yes.
Thank you, Reverend Barbara. Um, what I mentioned in my newsletter this week, and also in the wrap-ups that I send out to our fellow caregivers, we have a member whose husband died this last week, and she came into our group today and she said, I'm going to continue to come. She said, my daughter recommended that I go to a grief support group, but she said, you guys are my community. And
Hmm.
I want to be the caregiver that stuck around and moved through her various stages
Hmm.
that she feels, with empathy for herself, support for herself, but also to be a role model for the fact that there's still healing to be done after your loved one dies. And so it's like getting into that deep part of our spirits that can attest to and open to a greater potential for healing and a greater potential um, for celebrating and enabling their joy at the fact that they had their loved one. So there's a continuity that grieving doesn't begin or end with the demise of our loved ones. We're in grieving as caregivers throughout for the losses that we receive incrementally. We don't have the same life anymore. We don't share the same dreams. Our future isn't going to look the way we thought it would. And I think it's really good to encourage uh, our caregivers, ourselves, to be open to the healing and the community so that we don't grieve alone, that we
Yes.
don't heal alone.
Hmm. Hmm.
And she said, I'm going to be the trailblazer because we had a couple of other members whose loved ones had passed, and they eventually dropped out of the support group and moved on with their life in different ways. And that's okay too. That's fine. But there is a place for you. We have one caregiver who her mother died years ago, and she continues to come to the group. She continues to heal from the wounds that she was experiencing while actively caregiving.
Mhm.
So there is a potential for this opening and deepening into spirit and deepening into continuity. And I think that's wonderful. It's opening our eyes to a different way to approach caregiving post death.
Thank you. I noticed that grief can happen, at any stage. I mean, people are grieving their pets, their companion animals, they're grieving with this economy, maybe the loss of a job. They're grieving I know many people that have lost their homes, the loss of that kind of stability. And that's a difficult thing to process alone. So,
You bet.
I just want to highlight what you said. We're not here to do things alone, you know, you know, um,
That's it.
the spirit tells me that we're here to care for each other, in a variety of ways.
Exactly. Exactly. And when we put ourselves in a little box of expectations about how it's supposed to look or how we're supposed to be, without the permission for us to be who we are and addressing the unmet needs that we have and having a community to be able to move that with.
Yes,
That's so healing.
it's so healing. We've got another comment or
Oh,
question.
good.
It's related to walking. Oh, has helped me. And I have been grieving my father for a year. He passed away a year and a half ago. Started with 10 minutes now. Now I go for an hour. It has helped me. I go alone to process my grief. Okay,
Mhm.
great. So you're actually doing maybe like a walking meditation. And I read recently that if you do at least 30 minutes a day, it really makes a difference for your brain,
Yes.
and you sleep better, So you're really caring for your brain when you walk. And I walk too, but I find it's helpful to have a walking partner. Um, so it's great. Keep up the good the good walk.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
It is so moving to hear individual folks sharing. Thank you so much. On the one hand, we're talking about support from other people, which is huge. And then on the other hand, solitude
Yes.
and mindful walking or,
Yes, yes.
that's
Mhm,
very,
mhm.
that I'm finding that to be very helpful to hear.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're right about the solitude, Susan. When I'm in my solitude or meditation, I get answers to things that I've been thinking about,
Yep.
for a long time. Just being still, it comes to me. Oh, okay. That's a solution
Yep.
for a problem that I've been thinking about in the stillness of my mind. Yes. Thank you. A lot to say about solitude.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, do we want to wrap this up, Susan? We
I,
have a
I
few more minutes.
I think so. I think this has been very full. There's a lot to think about, and we will be recording this. People can go back and listen to and practice with the videos again and read some of the ideas about the different kinds of grief. Um, and there's just nothing easy about grief. So this is a place here now where we got some beautiful sense of companionship and understanding. Thank you, Reverend Barbara. And please, we will be sending out a copy of the recording today, and I hope you all will also, you can find it in our newsletter, which we send out every week. So I hope you can get something here for this incredibly challenging time we live in, and especially as a caregiver.
Yes. Thank you. Be well.
You.
Be well. Take care. And may you have the peace that you're looking for. Amen.
Amen.